Hey guys, John here with Pro Edge Paintball and professional paintball team AC Dallas. This is
Matt Fuzzy Jackson.
Fuzzy Jackson, my little brother here. Also plays for Pro Paintball team AC Dallas.
Team AC Dallas.
AC Dallas.
This car got a little crazy in front of us.
Sorry, we're doing the whole carpool karaoke, you know, risking drive and stuff like that. All right, so if you guys don't know a little bit about us, we just started a little video YouTube channel-ish, what you want to call it, station, Monday afternoon Pro Talk with Jackson Brothers. Sorry, man. And so what we're trying to do is trying to bring you some good quality videos to help the newer players get into and learn more about competitive paintball. So I've been posting a little bit on my social media, asking for people to reach out and send us questions. So today we've got 3 more questions to answer, and they're general paintball questions about us and how we got started. And if you haven't watched one of our videos before, thank you for watching. A little bit about us. We've been playing paintball for about 20 years now. We have been playing professional paintball for about 5 years now. And we played on Team VCK, and we've been with AC Dallas out of Dallas, Texas for like the last 4 or 5 years. So we've been, like I said, we started playing paintball in 1998 when we were super young. And now we're playing, and we have traveled
all over the place.
Literally, we've been to France, probably the coolest place, France and London. I had an opportunity to play there, and we travel the world, and this is what we do all the time. So, enough about us. Before we get started on the questions, one thing we say every video is make sure if you guys have any questions about getting into tournament paintball, getting into paintball in general, let's say you've never played before and you're curious, and you found our channel, go ahead and comment below. Comment below, send us a message. Any paintball general questions, we'll make sure that way we put them into our next videos.
If you're not a newer player and you're looking for more of an advanced question, like tournament type stuff, comment below as well. I say this, we're gonna get there. Like, this is kind of the early episodes, the early stages of this. We're kind of getting going in a sense. I think
a little background information on
background information, starting it, and then we're gonna progress and go from there, and then we'll get into just kind of, we literally kind of joking, Q&As, kind of jump all over the place just with specific questions.
Yep. So last week, if you're curious, last week's questions were, how did we get into paintball? And what style did we grow up playing, and how do we afford to play? So if you want to look on our channel for last week's video, maybe I'll put a link below, and that way you can check it out, and then you get learn a little more about us and check it out. So, cool deal. All right, let's get started. So this week's video, or first question, is going to be, do you recommend working at a paintball field? What are the benefits? And these are questions that some people have actually messaged me or sent message to me. So how do you recommend working at a paintball field, and what are the benefits to it?
Yeah, so we talked about this a little bit in the first video. It is exactly what actually John and I did to really get into it and be able to afford it when we were young. And short answer, absolutely would recommend it, because sometimes say you're 16, it's kind of tough to get certain jobs, certain places, and I know for me personally, it doesn't exactly sound exciting to go work at McDonald's or Taco Bell or bagging groceries, something like that.
But a paintball field.
Paintball field's a little bit more cool, I think.
Yeah.
And a little bit more enjoyable, I would say, if you're into paintball, right? You're around paintball people, you're around people that are playing paintball, around people that are learning about paintball, right? Like, all of it just is way more fun, and the benefit side of it can go pretty far, realistically.
I mean, like, the best thing is the discounts. Like,
right.
You get employee discounts pretty much no matter where you work if you've had jobs before. And so if you're trying to afford to play paintball and your parents are like, yo, this is really expensive, go check out your local field. There's some things that I'm gonna go into later on this, but one of the biggest things is you get the discounts out of it, and you get to meet the community, right? You get to meet other players. If you're an only child, not every day people just walk in your life that also do the same thing you do, So get out, meet and greet, you stay active. You're walking around the paintball field, and maybe it turns into more down the road. You might find some guys that are also in similar situations, like some other kids. If you're a kid, you're a guy, you're a little bit older, whatever it may be, you might find some other people that are in similar situations
trying to get into the sport, trying to get into the competition,
or just playing
or
together.
just play paintball, right? Like, you don't necessarily have to be a competitive player to be someone that works at a field. You could just enjoy playing paintball, and the pay with the job, of course, and then the discounts that you're going to get, and then the community, like John's talking about, it can be something that is extremely awesome, just in your life as a whole. I know there's a lot of people in Houston that it's a local field. They do a bunch of scenarios and things like that. A lot of the guys now used to play competitions, but they don't anymore. But it's kind of like a side gig that they do on the weekends. They'll work Saturday and work a Saturday here and there, get some discounts, and they'll play a scenario with all the employees, right? So it's like a big group of friends that also kind of work together.
Yeah.
So
one thing we started in Houston a couple of years ago is called the Houston Paintball Club, and the whole premise, the whole idea was, at my store, Pro Edge Paintball, we have customers come in and it's like, hey man, I just moved to town, I don't know anybody to play. And we're like, oh, cool, good luck. Send them on their way. Next week, another guy comes, you're like, oh man, I should have hooked him up. So we started Houston Paintball Club. It's a Facebook page, or if you're in Houston or in Texas and you're interested in playing in Houston, it's super cool because people, it's naturally, we didn't mean it this way, but the idea was to bring local players together. So we used to run events that we refed, we scheduled, we brought them together. It's like, look, you got a girlfriend that wants to play for the first time. We controlled the environment. It was a safe environment. Make sure people weren't going to get just blown off the field. The tournament guys, knew to turn it down, and it really was to bring the community together. So when you go work at your local field, it's kind of the same thing. You meet a group of people, and now you have multiple people. Everybody knows that you're not going to go play by yourself usually. So you get this opportunity to meet other people, at least in the local area, probably live close to you, and you can go play. So I'm going to go into the next question, and then we're going to touch back on like the benefits of the working on a paintball field. So, okay, question number 2: how do we get into tournament play, or how do we get into tournament play, and how do you get into tournament play? I guess we can do. So I'll let Fuzz start off. How do we get into tournaments and whatnot?
The field that I worked at the time used to do these little local 3-mans, and by working there, by just being there, basically, I happened to just kind of stumble on to one where I worked the same day that one happened. Or I was gonna work the same day one happened, and we found out about it, and it ended up, like, John and I talked about it, and we said, well, we should actually try to watch this and see what this thing's about. And we ended up just kind of I ended up not working, taking the day off, or just not working, whatever it was, to go watch this tournament. And we discovered basically this idea of paintball by just being there and watching it, and it made us have this desire to do it. And by that, I think John actually put an ad in to
so we always played competitive sports too, like in high school. I think you ran track, played football,
played soccer, every sport I possibly could.
I played football and did a little bit of track and stuff like that. So we were already competitive, and so we it was a 3-man tournament series, just kind of give you a heads up. And so we were like, man, we got this seems sweet. And so we put there used to be a magazine out called Action Pursuit Games, APG. And so we put a little ad in there. I put an ad in there. It was like, looking for other players.
Looking for third
paintball player must shoot a spider like we do. And we got some really weird adult phone calls back then, and it's terrified me. I didn't know better now. We didn't have the internet, and I wasn't, still had landlines and cords on the phone and stuff at home, no cell phones. And so anyways, we found one of our best buds that we still know today. Freaking, what is that?
Happened
20 years later?
Oh yeah, 20
birthday's 2 days
years
after mine, which is crazy.
20 years, still friends with him. He still plays occasionally, and he happened to live 45 minutes or so away from us. So we met him at a paintball field. Played probably just some random day. I don't remember when we picked up.
Sick gun though. He wasn't broke by guys.
He had a really nice gun. Yeah. We also picked up some other kid. I don't even remember when it was.
Brian was the first. So Brian Whiting, his name. Got to give him credit there. Literally still a good buddy of ours. Brian Whiting was the first one. He came out, played paintball. We got along with him. It was awesome. And then I don't know who you're talking about. Kyle.
Kyle Tate.
I think we're still friends with him.
I ran into him through a different group of friends completely. It's actually really funny. Kyle Tate, we somehow got introduced to, and then we had 4 people. So John and I, Brian, and this guy named Kyle, and I think we probably played a little bit as a group.
Wonderful.
In a 3-on-3 setting, right? We played the same format that the competition was supposed to be in, because we knew we wanted to try and play one of these competitions. And we did that probably, you know, I'd say a handful of times or something like that, and then one of the tournaments was going to come back around, and I don't remember how we paid for it or whatever. I literally don't remember any of this.
Whatever, yeah.
But somehow we scrounged up enough money and we registered to play this competition, and basically just kind of just jumped into it head first. Like, no, other than watching the one competition, didn't have a clue really what we were getting ourselves into.
We had probably been playing paintball in general for probably about, I think it was 2 or 3 years. I think, yeah, I was like
2 years?
I was like 15-ish, I think we played our first one.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah,
2000 I think is when it was. And so, yeah, we just played our first tournament, and I think we got like second to last, or...
I mean, I didn't even play the first, like, I think we had 8 prelim games.
Oh, Kyle shot an angel.
Yeah, Kyle shot an angel. Yeah,
sick gun, by the way.
So Brian and Kyle had very nice guns at the time. John and I, not so much.
They were our ringers, so...
I didn't even play. I first game at the competition that I think, like, we watched, I was only 12 or 13. I was pretty young. I, like, watched it, and everyone was shooting so fast, and, like, I was terrified.
Y'all just
not even kidding.
Matt Fuzzy Jackson, Golden Barrel winner, NXL, kill count leader of whatever. Look, he's even wearing his shirt. We promised you we didn't plan this.
Yeah.
This is his Top Gun Award winner shirt. Said he was scared to play paintball.
100%.
Don't feel bad.
Terrified to get on the same field with these guys shooting so fast with these fancy guns and all this kind of stuff. And I think I sat out like first like 5 games out of 8 or something like that. And this Kyle guy that we thought was going to be awesome because he had all this awesome equipment. It's kind of a segue. This is kind of a segue.
Okay.
I've talked to him about this. He's fine. Was awful. Like, it was just awful.
You've talked to him about this?
Yeah, I've joked with him about this. So I'm like watching him play, and I don't remember. I think you guys lost all 5 games. I think you guys lost all 5 games. And John at one point looked at me. He's like, "Man, do you really just not want to play?" And I was like, I told him, I'm scared, blah blah blah. And I think at some point I literally just kind of like said, "Sure, like let's just do it, right? Like let me just jump in and play." And then jumped in and literally played a game. I don't even remember if we won or not, even if I shot a person or anything like that. But played the last 3 competitive games at that tournament. We might have won 1.
Yeah, I don't think we got like third to last or something other than that.
And when I played it, got hooked instantly with the competition side of it. So different from playing in the woods. But ultimately, to answer the question, how did we get into it?
Part 1 of the question is how do we get into it? Part 2, how do you get into tournament paintball? Give you a quick answer.
Just jump in. That's my way of saying it.
It goes back to the first question about being part of the community and learning more people. You realistically, you have to just meet and greet. You can't rush it. You can't just go into it. Everybody knows if you've ever tried doing anything fun with a group of people, you got to have a group of people, right? You got to know them. So how do you get into tournament paintball? Check out your local Facebook pages. Most regions throughout the country, you have, like, for example, we have Houston, Texas Paintball Series. We have Houston Paintball Club. So many, like, I mean, for sure, I know for certain, multiple teams have been formed because of the Houston Paintball Club. Just people that went to go play recreationally together and wanted to try something different. You're like, hey, I see you every weekend at the local paintball field. What's up? Name's John. Let's go play paintball. And you get into it and you get started. So if your local area doesn't have that, maybe you're the guy, you're the girl to start it. You know what I mean? Just go ahead and create that page. If you can't find other local players to play, what we did, honestly, we started our own team. To answer your question, how we we started our own team. We said, hey, we got 2. We only need 1 more technically to go play. And that's the way we did it. I think, no, we tried out for 1 team first.
That was way later, though.
No, right when we tried out for 1 team and decided we're going to start our own because we wanted to go play with some local paintball players.
That's right.
And we're like, nah. Anyway, so I'm saying start your own Facebook page if you don't know, like if there's nobody in your group or in your area playing at the time. If there's a paintball field nearby, that means people are looking to play paintball. And if not, then you try to be maybe that ambassador and that positive role model and just bring people together on that one. And realistically, go back to our first question of, should you work at a paintball field? The answer is yes. If you enjoy it, you love it, like we did when we first started and we still do, get out there. the only way and it's gonna be awkward. I know a lot of you guys are just on the internet and you're, liking girls' Instagram pictures and stuff or whatever, or TikToks. You're gonna have to talk to people face to face and get to know them. Just say hi. Just say, hey, what's up? You see them all the time. Introduce yourself. Paintball communities across the world are extremely friendly.
You already have something in common with them if you're at the paintball field, right? You're already somewhat similar in the sense of you have this mutual agreement that you both enjoy paintball. So you have a common ground right there. Most of the time, people in paintball are very friendly, like John's saying, and use the resources around you, like John's saying. Like the paintball field and Facebook, Instagram, everything nowadays is you're so much more connected now, right? We were forced to go to the field and talk to people and find people, or use this magazine to put an ad in to try to find players, because forums didn't exist at the time, right? Facebook didn't exist at the time. Use the resources that you have, and I say this too right now. Like John and I are driving home from practice right now, and it's a 3-hour drive.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, we're at a different level of competitiveness than what we're talking about just starting out. But say you have two fields that are both within an hour of you. One's 20 minutes.
That's a good point.
One's 50 minutes.
I like that.
If the 50-minute one has competitions and that's what you want to do, maybe you have to try to convince your parents, hey, Mom.
Maybe even once a month, once every couple months. Go check it out.
This field is just better for all of these reasons, right? Like this 20-minute drive field is only gonna be for fun in the woods or whatever it may be, but you may have to take that extra kind of leap and sacrifice a little bit more time to get there. And like John said, maybe not be able to go as often because your parents don't want to drive you if you're young.
And so this goes actually into our third question. I think you did this on purpose.
That's the accident, but it worked.
The question was how to convince your parents. We'll do two answers on this one, two questions. How to convince your parents to work at a paintball field, and how to convince your parents to let you play competitive tournament paintball. And just a brief thing on the paintball. I think people mainly worried about the tournament side, how to get in tournaments, so I'll do the paintball field one first. My favorite thing about working at a paintball field, it's on the weekends. Your parents don't want you to work during the week, work late. They want you home by 9, eat dinner, study, do your stuff.
Focus on your school, get an education, be smart.
All that good stuff. But work on Saturdays, maybe work on Sundays if you don't go to church. But if you do, you can work on Saturday, still have a little bit of income, still get the discounts to the local field, still meet your community, plenty of sleep on Sunday. It teaches you the responsibility, you get the discounts, you get paid, and it doesn't interfere with your normal life of school and education and maybe school sports,
family time,
all that
whatever
stuff.
It may be.
So, and paintball fields they are usually only twice a week. So, and they're pretty open. They understand that you have to work part-time and stuff, and it's very friendly and it's not dangerous. It's outdoors, which I know all the parents want to
get your kids off video games.
Get your kids off video games, want to get you outside, all that stuff. So it's a good workout. It's great, man. It really is. You learned all the responsibilities, and realistically, I'm not gonna say it's not hard because it's hot. We're in Texas.
I mean, it's hot in Texas. It could be cold where they're from.
You know what I mean? So I'm just saying it's miserable, but it teaches you all of that, and it's not a terrible job by any means. You get to watch people play paintball, and if you're just not a cold-hearted person, it's kind of cool to see other people have a good time. And if you get to be that person to help meet them and help that birthday party kid play for his first time because you remember how excited you are. Anyways, all of this to convince your parents. There's so many benefits. The main one, though, is it's on the weekends. It's out of the way. Good opportunity, good scheduling. And so over to and the discount. So over to the how to convince your parents to play tournaments. It teaches you, I've learned.
There's so many life lessons that we've learned, I've learned, and I feel like other paintball people that played for any amount of years can attest to. Winning and losing in general is something that paintball competitions just force upon you. You're not going to win every game. Every time you get shot, technically it's a little loss, and it's kind of like adding a little character to you because you get to learn how you handle it, right? Like all of these, there's a lot of, I say this, I watch a lot of sports, I always talk about this, use a lot of analogies. It's very similar to other sports in the sense of it teaches you all of these responsibilities, all of these
character building.
Character building things that all these other sports are going to teach you. It's just a different sport in a sense. Like it's not some crazy different thing. the easiest way that I look at it is it's just another sport. Unfortunately, no, it's not NFL, it's not NHL, right? But it's very similar in what it's going to teach you as a person and the experience that you're going to learn, the community that you're going to be a part of. I really don't know of I say this, very few stories I've ever heard of bad paintball communities anywhere across the world.
So to try to go back to the question, how to convince your parents, you meet more people, you're outdoors, it's teaching you, it's building your character, you get to be active, you're making friends on that, and they go, okay, well, hey, it's really expensive, so okay, well, I'll work at the local paintball field. I raise my money on it. I'll do fundraisers. I'll wash the dishes. I'll do chores. And I mean, I know a lot of people out there these days seem to be very open about being anti-gun, and I respect your opinion on all of that. Very rarely, and I shouldn't say this out loud, but very rarely has a paintball gun ever physically harmed somebody, unless it was intended to, or is a complete, absolute, disastrous accident.
The joke used to be, many years ago, we used to talk about it through the sport, is that it was one of the safest sports ever.
It still statistically is, apparently.
Yeah, somewhere someone did some type of comparison that it was safer than walking down a golf course and getting hit with a golf ball. Because the biggest injury in paintball is going to be an ankle injury or a knee injury. That's because you slide.
Which happens literally anywhere. So.
Yeah, it's safe-wise, and if you compare, we all grew up we're in Texas, so we grew up playing football, right? Texas football is just insane here, right? Like, if you're not giving it your all, you're not even playing, right? Playing football in Texas compared to playing paintball, our mom was like, yep, I'm down, let's do it.
100%.
I went to the hospital once because of I had like this chest spasm while I was playing football. John fractured his vertebrae playing football and could have been paralyzed from the waist down, right? I can't say it's never going to happen in paintball, but if that happened in paintball, pretty sure you'd be the first.
Yeah. So it's safe. All of these good things, like you said, the community, at least our community in Texas has been great. Hopefully your community in your area, again, I've never really had anybody. So if your parents and you're watching it out there and you're watching this, thank you for watching and letting your kids at least get into paintball. But give them a chance, like straight up, give them a chance to go meet the community, go sit out there. Like, there'll be some characters that you're not going to approve of, but that's going to be literally in the grocery store when you go buy groceries tomorrow. So I'm just saying, like, let them have a chance, go play, meet some new people. My mom used to go take a book to the paintball field. Now you'll have Wi-Fi and stuff. We didn't have any of that stuff. Mom would go read a book back in the day and hang out and make sure we didn't get in trouble. And people were super friendly. They're literally birthday parties. They're having a good time. Let's say how bad could it be, but how bad could it be?
How bad could it be, yeah.
So how to convince your parents, let them watch this video, the second half of this video. And just make sure they know that, like, hey, you just want to try it. You're going to be safe. You have to be responsible. You have to show them that you can be responsible with owning a paintball gun, owning the equipment. You're not shooting in the house. You're not doing all this stupid stuff that people want to do. You're not driving down the road with your boys and shooting street signs. Call out to all you people that do that.
Plenty of movies display paintball in this negative ways, and most, I would say, the competitive community generally does not do any of that. Like, there are going to be your people, which is always going to be.
If you're that person that's out there shooting street signs, you make us all look bad.
Absolutely.
Create a bad name for us. I know you think it's funny, and it's real hard not to tell friends of ours that have told us, man, I shot up this car dealership.
Brand new cars.
Come on, man. Like,
Craziness.
You're just literally asking for somebody to say, oh, can't do paintball stuff anymore. So I'm just saying, be responsible, say you're going to be responsible, follow through. Show them that it's outdoors, show them you enjoy it, and show them some videos. Don't show them nothing against HK Army, but don't show them all the cussing videos.
The old HK videos.
Yeah,
new HK videos a little bit better.
Saying, there's a lot of, nothing against HK, respect, but just saying, watch that. So anyway, that was our third question. I know a little longer than normal. We're trying to keep these videos about 15-20 minutes, and so that way it doesn't go on for too long. But before we head out, of course, thank you so much for watching. We're on our way. It's slowly getting dark here. We're on our way home from Dallas for one of our practices. And if you have any questions, again, no matter how big, how small, comment below. You got any feedback for us? If it's negative, don't want to hear it. I'm trying not to be a negative person. If it's positive, thank you so much for taking the time and watching our videos. Please like our video. Also, we're going to release a new video. The game plan is every Monday, I think at 2 o'clock. So please subscribe to the channel below. It really means a lot. By liking our video, it means a lot. It helps other players find these videos. And and hopefully we can help somebody's parents somewhere help them get into paintball and go play and join up with the other guy that's watching this video, or girl that's watching this video, to go start their own paintball team and be the next famous pro paintball team in 10 years or whatever the case is. So comment below if you do not feel comfortable commenting below. I understand you might be embarrassed on your question. Send me a message on Instagram at John Jackson, I think it's _22, John Jackson _22, or to the Pro Edge Paintball Instagram at Pro Edge Paintball. That's all it is, at Pro Edge Paintball, no spaces. And I will make sure we add it to our video and not call you out or anything like that. So other than that, thank you so much for watching. Don't be too harsh. We're new getting into this. We appreciate
this episode 2, okay, guys?
Episode 2. So we're working our way. And like I said, if you're a more experienced player and this was kind of bluff for you, stay tuned. Go and subscribe. We're going to get into the tournament side, into our pro level type stuff, and we'll bring you more content on that one. Otherwise, thank you guys so much. Have a great week. We'll see you all next week.